I want to take this moment to talk about what Rod has been presenting. 3 weeks ago, he went with our family, and we were back in Ohio, in Indiana, and Illinois, Missouri, specifically to see a lot of the artifacts. What I tell people, what I believe, are the antiquities of America. I've been studying it, but until you walk on the presence of like Cahokia, and you are looking at an earthen formation that's literally as large as the pyramids of Egypt, when you're in the presence of a village that was 6,000 acres with between 20 and 22,000 people, which at the time archaeologists said was larger than Rome or larger than Athens in Greece. They're really the foundations of Europe. Are you really taken back, and do you really comprehend what has happened in the American continent, or on the American continent? It's we were in Ohio. We were at a lot of significant mounds. The resort here at Zermatt is sitting on 18 acres. It's a large property. You can see the size of the buildings and the ponds and the lake. Well, one of the effigy mounds alone, the Serpent Mound there in Ohio, is on 18 acres. And on the 21st of June, it lines up in the summer equinox and lines specifically up down the mouth and through the belly of the frog that this snake is eating. You can't even see it. It's so difficult to see as you wander and walk around, but from the sky. Now, I mention this because it's become very evident that this country had a great civilization over not a few years, but thousands of years. During that trip, I bought a book by Squire and Davies. They were two archaeologists hired by the United States government through the Smithsonian Institution. They were surveyors, basically, and going out like Lewis and Clark. And they were recording all of these and drawing specific drawings and talking about them. I bought their book. It's the actual one they turned into the government, and it's so interesting because here they make statements in there about the people of the antiquities of America, that to this day there is no tribe, and in particular in the 15th and 16th centuries of this country, and when Columbus came here, there were not any tribes, American Indian tribes as we know them, that were as large, had the ability to make these facilities, or that also had the knowledge of the astronomical knowledge of the heavens that these people did. These people have come and gone, and they left behind literally thousands upon thousands of burial mounds, religious mounds with altars, with very significant religious significance, defense mounds. As Squire and Davis concluded, these people fought with their neighbors. They were not running from them. They built cities that they literally inhabited for long periods of time, and yet they had to protect themselves. So much as we hear in the Book of Mormon, and the actual construction types and the materials, just like we hear in the Book of Mormon. One can't help but walk away from an experience like that, and as Rod took my family and I to some of these sites, and when you study what the prophet Joseph said, and not only what he said, but what he wrote, and what other early church leaders have said, this is the Book of Mormon country. This is, I believe, the land of the Nephites, and this is not only the Nephites, because most of the antiquities, the indigenous relics that are left there would be the Lamanites. The Nephites are long gone, but they did leave very specific living places and the habitation areas behind. So Rod asked me to share that with you and what some of my feelings were. It was been very powerful. I sat down with Squire and Davis's book, which is about 3 inches thick and very large, that they turned into the Smithsonian upon their completion of their work in the 1850s. They started it in 1846, and as I read through it, there literally are hundreds of references to the things that Latter-day Saints believe, that they already believe, regarding the times of period. When it talks about the fact that these have been there for thousands, in the plural, I repeat, thousands of years, we know that there were great civilizations here in this country. Now, does that mean that they were, what about the Central America and other places? The Savior appeared. He said, "Other sheep I have." And he said when he appeared to the people in the Promised Land, "Ye are they of whom I said, other sheep I have." So he came to the Promised Land first. That which we know and believe through revelation is the Promised Land. But then where did he go? He didn't just come to two places. The resurrected Savior appeared to the peoples of this world. And so there are the great traditions of Central America, South America, the Isles of the Sea, Japan, China. There are places which are known of a great white God before the early dynasties, for example, in Japan, before the shoguns. They were there. It's fascinating to think that we're living at a time when all of this is coming forward. And I am so grateful that I've lived at a time that I was able to go back and see only because what I've started. I'm learning more. I'm going to go back and see more. And all it does is strengthen that which we all know by faith, that the Book of Mormon is true, that Joseph translated it by revelation, and that he definitely was the prophet of the restoration. Thanks, Rod, for giving me a couple of minutes to talk about it, and for being up here at a beautiful place. It's obviously a sunny, pretty day in the summertime, and we look forward to having seminars in the future here and telling more people about these findings that are starting to surface now in the 21st century. Thanks.